Look, me and Jesse were just sitting here going back and forth, like miming to each other, like, she is incredible. Like, the list of achievements, accomplishments, shows, like, things is insane. There's a lot. Like, I mean, look, I'm a dreamer. I dream big. Did you dream this big?
You know what? When I first started my career in television, I said to my agent very jokingly, I want to take over the world through television.
Damn straight.
And he didn't laugh, so I thought maybe it's possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And you laugh, because people generally would sometimes in this
people would generally laugh.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, there's so many great shows, but is it true that you, I'm curious about this, because whenever I write songs, I have imagery going on as well with it, but I hear that you act scenes out when you're writing them.
I act every single scene out as I'm writing it.
Do people hear you doing this?
Yeah, if you walk by my office, you can hear me like giving an Olivia Pope monologue or like crying through something with Meredith and Derek in the old days. And they all think it's a little bit crazy, but it's work, so nobody said anything.
Yeah.
They're all pretending they don't hear it.
Like, she's creating. It's like, yeah.
But it's so much fun. Like, I get to play all the parts.
What character have you written that you feel most compatible with?
Oh, that's interesting. It changes from time to time.
Oh,
you know,
we change. Yeah.
I feel like in the old days, I felt like I was Christina Yang.
Yeah.
And then,
love her. Yeah, for that kid,
my favorite. And then in the Scandal years, I felt like I was, of all people, Fitz, the president, which is very. There's a lot of reasons why. There's a lot of therapy that goes into that.
You feel powerful. Say it loud. Yeah.
And now I feel like with Bridgerton, I feel like maybe I'm most like Violet right now.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting.
Oh my God.
I mean, I want to be Queen Charlotte, but
man, that show. Oh, there's some sexy tension in those.
It is steamy.
What? I got my blanket. I'm like, wah! It's so good. Wait, is it true that you came up with Grays because you loved watching surgery videos?
Yes.
That's so weird, man.
There used to be this channel where they would show like these crazy surgeries. They'd remove like huge tumors and all this stuff, and you could watch it. And my sister and I would call each other back and forth, and she'd be like, surgery's on, and we'd watch the surgeries together.
That's incredibly different.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird, but then it turned out to come for a good cause when they asked me to write a medical show.
Yeah. Little did you know you were just researching.
Just doing a little research. It was fine, all normal.
I heard that it all started in your family pantry.
Oh, yeah.
So I need you to tell this, because I actually think it's beautiful that you didn't get in trouble for kind of making a little bit of a mess, and they let you be creative.
I used to play in the kitchen pantry in our house. You know, it was before I went to school. My mom would be working in the kitchen, and I would be like tucked inside the pantry with the door closed. And the big cans would be like the kings and the queens and the emperors, and the little cans would be like soldiers or villagers or whatever. Yeah. And I would make up all these stories. Like a whole world happened inside my pantry.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with it. And every once in a while when my mom had to cook something, she'd open the pantry and say, I need some vegetables. And that would mean that like one of the villagers had to die. Or something like that.
Oh my God.
But she was always, it worked for the story, it was always great for story, but she was always so encouraging. My parents were always so encouraging of my imagination.
That's so great. I think it's bad, and I've seen it happen when, you know, even on play dates or the other way, and it's like, oh, just let them be. Like, let them do that. It's okay. Like, we'll make them pick it up. That's another lesson to learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No need to control the play. Like, let the play be what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. They do pick it up, though. I don't. I don't know. Are any of your kids, you seeing your creative, you know, side kind of flowing through them?
All my kids are creative in their own way. I have a daughter who is like very into fashion and like can tell me what to buy and what not to buy very well. My middle daughter, Emerson, she's got perfect pitch. She has a beautiful voice. She can play songs on the piano if she hears them.
Nice.
Which she's never formally learned. Yeah. And she's very artsy. She's very creative and visually artsy too.
Yeah.
And then my youngest daughter is like a musical theater nerd in the best way. And she tells me that she's writing a book right now. She's 11, and I'm very supportive of it.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's my daughter's way. She tells me she's writing a book all the time. I think she just wants new journals, you know? She just loves like to buy books with pens, and she's like, well, no, that one's for this story and that one's for that. I'm like, it's a bookstore in her room.
I have stacks of journals like that for her.
I know, I can't really get onto her because my office looks very similar. The 10th anniversary edition of her book, Year of Yes, is out now. You can find it wherever you buy your books. So what sets this new version of the book apart from the OG?
Well, it's been 10 years since I wrote that first book. And in that first book, I was sort of saying yes to everything that scared me. I was trying to transform my life, and it really did, the first book. And then 10 years go by, and they asked me to think about a 10th anniversary edition, and I really had to add new chapters. I really had to write more about what's happened between that time when I stopped, I was at the end of the book, and now, because you realize that there are things that you should have been saying yes to that you missed. There are things that, you need to be saying yes to now. And my life is totally different now.
Yeah.
So, I moved across the country, all kinds of things. And so I really wanted to examine what that meant and what that was like.
Yeah, it's a brave thing to say yes to something that's scary. Not everybody's that has that kind of mentality that can get up and go and move.
No, I certainly didn't have that mentality when it started.
Yeah.
I was so scared of everything, I like to say. I always said my characters had amazing lives, and I sat in a room.
Yeah.
And didn't want to do anything, was too scared to do anything.
It's so crazy, the juxtaposition of that, because your characters are usually strong and bold and fearless that's amazing.
And I was like a nervous, shy person who would I couldn't have done this, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you could have. Okay, how do you feel like you've changed though in those past 10 years, personally?
Oh my God, I've grown so much in the sense of I really recognize myself now. When you do things and you're like, why the heck did I do that?
Yeah.
I feel like I know why I do the things I do now, which is amazing. But I also feel like I don't say yes all the time now, but I'm more excited about trying new things. It's my first go-to when someone says do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Is let's try it, let's see.
Yeah.
Versus that old thing where I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that in front of anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have no pride or shame. I will do just about anything in front of I'm an interesting individual. So you said this about writers. My brain naturally just leans in the direction of half-truths, like a flower to the sun. Fabrication is like a bad habit that feels good, easy to pick up, hard to quit. That's very well said, but what do you mean exactly by that? I think I know what you mean by that, but what do you mean by that?
I mean that everything feels a little bit better with some fiction on top of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
You're
it
wouldn't
makes
that be
life
more amazing
cooler
if this was going on? Yeah.
So were you that kid? I was that kid too that
Yes.
would reality kind of sucks sometimes. You just create a better one.
So I went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
And I would have these wonderful, imaginative truths that I would tell. Yeah. And they would call me a liar and send me to church. So I spent a lot of time in church just dealing with the fact that I was just being creative.
You were like liar or storyteller.
Yeah, my mom's name is Vera, and I was like, she's a Russian spy. And they'd be like, Russian spy? I'm like, have you heard of white Russian? She's black Russian. I had a whole thing.
You had it. You were going deep. It's like where you start to get too detailed.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't know at that point. So wait, did writing The Year of Yes help you find your spark again?
It did. You know what's interesting? I feel like I always had my spark. I was always like a sparkly on the inside kind of person.
Yeah.
But writing Year of Yes, experiencing that year, made me able to show that spark to everybody else.
Yeah.
I was always hiding it. And now I feel like it's out there in the open, and that's just me.
I feel like there's a sequel, if you will, called The Year of No. Because it is hard. It's so funny whenever I remember hearing about this book years ago, right? And because obviously 10 years ago. But I think it's so funny that some people, because we're opposite. I grew up saying yes to everything, even if I was even in the industry, if I had walking pneumonia and I was just drowning, so tired, couldn't barely do anything, I'd be like, of course I can do that, yeah. And I'd always say yes. And I think the art of learning to say no without feeling like you're a turd of a human or you're letting someone down or you're taking the weight on of that, that is also a very important thing.
It's hard. There's a chapter in the book called Say Yes to Saying No.
Yeah.
Because that is a really hard thing to do. I always felt like I had to give 15 excuses on top of why I was saying no.
Exactly.
And I've learned really well that no is a complete sentence and it's okay.
And I don't know one dude that gives a reason why they're saying no.
They never do. They never give a reason. And
they're just like,
it's true.
I'm like, and I'm not bashing dudes. No. I'm saying that's a compliment. I'm like, that is a freedom.
They're comfortable, yeah.
You're comfortable being like, it don't want to be a no, it'll be a nah. And I'm like, oh my God, that was so easy. And then you're just done talking. I would meanwhile have a book about all the reasons why you should understand why I've said no.
excuses, yeah.
I know, that's really important too.
Yeah.
All right, well, you covered it all. The 10th anniversary edition of Shonda's book, Year of Yes, is out now, and everyone in our audience is going home with a copy.